Thank you, Gary. Let's go quickly now back to Randy Shandobil live in San Francisco with an update on that fire over there. Randy?
Dennis, first of all, there have been 2 injuries to firefighters. They've suffered burns of some sort. We don't know how serious those injuries are. This fire was big enough that planes taking off from San Francisco International Airport radioed to control that there's been some kind of explosion. They saw it from the air, taking off from the airport, maybe 10 miles south of here. The fire department did give some incorrect information a little bit earlier. They thought there were 4 piers involved. It's actually 2 piers, but still, there's an awfully big area burning here. I would say it's the equivalent of about 4 square city blocks. 142 firefighters are out here, but it looks like the 2 piers are going to be totally ruined. Reporting live from San Francisco, this is Randy Shandobil.
It may be days before San Francisco firefighters know exactly what caused last night's gigantic pier fire on the city's waterfront. It was one of the biggest fires in the city's history, so huge the orange glow could be seen for miles. Today, firefighters spent the entire day mopping up at Piers 30 and 32, where not surprisingly, every structure on those piers was a total loss. Rita Williams has a report.
From the air this morning, you could see just how massive the fire had been. Just below the Bay Bridge, 2 piers, roughly 4 square blocks, were in ruins. 12 hours after the fire broke out, the piles of wooden rubble were still smoldering, and people were still talking about the spectacle that lit up the sky.
It was like an inferno, burning, mad. It spread very fast. It started at the beginning, then all of a sudden it just spread right out. It was really red sky. As a matter of fact, I was afraid of my place.
The fire was discovered just after 9 o'clock last night, and within 14 minutes had gone to 5 alarms. That means all available firefighters were at Piers 30 and 32 battling the quick-moving fire.
It's just like a giant barn. It's just old wood. It's been here probably 50 years with a lot of oxygen. Once it starts, it's just going to roll the whole distance.
Added to that, Lynch says, were the high winds last night that pushed the flames toward the bay. That side of the pier was inaccessible to firefighters, so 9 fireboats were brought in to fight the fire from the water.
It was basically an empty pier. You don't want to risk too many lives going into an empty pier. Once it got to such a degree, it was just a matter of trying to keep the fire contained to these 2 piers and not letting it jump to the next pier.
Their efforts were successful. The fire was contained to only 2 piers, but it took firefighters more than 2 hours to bring the raging fire under control. And by that time, the fire chief estimated it had done $2.5 million worth of damage. Port officials, though, said it was more like $12 to $15 million. 4 firefighters were injured, none seriously.
I don't know how we get so many piers going at one time.
Throughout the night and day today, firefighters stood by dousing the hot spots, and arson inspectors began what might be a long investigation into what caused all this. The front walls of the buildings look like the front facade of movie sets, teetering in the wind, and they posed a danger of collapsing. Firefighters say they'll stay out here all day and night, perhaps several days, to try to take care of flare-ups like this one that was whipped up by the high winds. In San Francisco, Rita Williams, KTVU Channel 2 News.